Hey there, curious minds. Welcome to another episode of I Wonder, the show where we explore the questions you've been wondering about. Today's question comes from Mia, who's 14 years old, and asks, why do some moments stick out in my memory and others are forgotten instantly? That's a fascinating question, Mia. We've all experienced this. You might vividly remember your last birthday, but can't remember what you had for lunch 2 days ago. Or maybe a random memory from years ago pops into your head out of nowhere. So let's dive into the science of memory to uncover what makes some moments unforgettable while others fade away.
Wow.
Let's dive into the science of memory to uncover what makes some moments unforgettable while others fade away. How does memory work? Your memory isn't like a perfect recording device. Instead, it's a complex system involving different parts of your brain working together. When something happens, your brain goes through three main steps. First, there's encoding, where your brain takes in information from your senses, what you see, hear, smell, or touch, and processes it. Next is storage, where your brain decides whether to keep the information and file it away for later. Finally, there's retrieval, when your brain pulls that file out of storage so that you can recall it. Not everything gets stored permanently, though. Sometimes your brain decides certain details aren't worth keeping, and that's why you forget them. But why do some moments stick? Certain moments stick in your memory often because they're tied to strong emotions or unusual events. Your brain is wired to prioritize anything that feels important or surprising. A part of your brain called the amygdala plays a key role in this process. When something exciting, scary, or meaningful happens, the amygdala signals your brain to pay extra attention and remember it. For example, you're more likely to remember the moment you got a surprise gift or scored the winning goal in a game than what you ate for breakfast last Tuesday. Emotional experiences trigger the release of chemicals like adrenaline, which strengthen those memories and makes them easier to recall. So why do we forget everyday things? Your brain is also great at forgetting. And that's actually a good thing. Forgetting helps your brain focus on what's important and makes room for new information. Imagine if you remembered every single thing you experienced. Your brain would get overwhelmed.
System overload.
It tends to forget things that aren't meaningful or that you don't repeat. For instance, you might forget what you wore a week ago because it doesn't stand out. But you'll always remember your best friend's name because you use it all the time. The role of repetition. Repetition is one of the best ways to make memories stick. When you revisit information or practice a skill over time, your brain strengthens the connection between neurons, making it easier to recall. That's why studying for a test or practicing a musical instrument helps you remember better. Repetition turns fleeting thoughts into long-lasting memories, like creating a well-worn path through a forest. But why do random memories pop up? Sometimes memories seem to appear out of nowhere. This happens because your memories are connected by associations. A song might remind you of a road trip, or the smell of cookies might take you back to a holiday baking session with your family. These sensory triggers act like keys, unlocking memories stored in your brain and bringing them to the surface. But hang on, aren't there different types of memory? Yeah, and each type of memory has its own role. Short-term memory holds information for a brief moment, like remembering a phone number long enough just to dial it. Long-term memory, on the other hand, stores information for days, years, or even a lifetime. And long-term memory itself can be divided into categories like episodic memory, which holds specific events like your first day of school; semantic memory, which stores facts like knowing Paris is the capital of France; and procedural memory, which helps you remember skills like riding a bike or tying your shoes. These different types of memory work together to help you navigate life. Here's some fun facts about memory. Your brain changes every time you remember something. Each time you recall a memory, your brain rewires it slightly, which is why memories can shift over time. Did you know the sense of smell is the most closely tied to memory? That's why certain scents like sunscreen or cinnamon can instantly transport you to a vivid moment from your past. And here's a myth buster. Goldfish don't have 3-second memories. In reality, they can remember things for months. How can you make memories stick? If you want to hold on to a memory, try to connect it to emotions, as this makes it more meaningful and easier to remember. Engaging your senses can also help. For example, writing notes by hand while saying them aloud can be more effective than just reading them silently. And finally, repetition is key. Repetition is key.
Echo! Echo! Echo!
Reviewing or practicing something regularly strengthens your brain's pathways, turning short-term memories into lasting ones. So, Mia, why do some moments stick out in your memory while others fade away? It all comes down to how your brain processes and prioritizes information. Emotional experiences, repeated actions, and sensory triggers are all more likely to stick, while everyday details fade to make room for new memories. Your brain is kind of like a librarian, constantly deciding what to file, what to let go, shaping the story of your life one memory at a time. Thanks again to Mia for such an unforgettable question. And remember, if you have a question you're curious about, submit it on our website, iwonderpodcast.com, and we might just feature it in our next episode of I Wonder. Until next time, stay curious and keep wondering.